Good day, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Max's YouTube channel, and this is for our educational channel. And it's me again, Mr. Eric Makanim. Um, I'm so happy to have another chance to have this video discussion that we have for another subject. Last time I've discussed the readings in Philippine history for those students who have taken that subject, that is GE 12. This time I'll be discussing SocScie 12, and that is society and culture with family planning. And for those of you who are not in this subject but still watching this video, you are welcome, and thank you for joining us. And thank you as well for those students who have subscribed. And every time that I have a new video, especially for your subject, you will be noticed and you'll be notified, or you will be informed that we have new videos every time I have this video discussion or supplementary video. So I'm so glad that I have this. We have this the chance, in spite of my schedule, medyo tight ang schedule, yet here I am. And I'm also so happy, and I'm hoping and praying that everybody is in good health and upon watching this video that we have. So this time we are going to talk about a very special components of society and culture, or culture itself. And we are going to discuss a lot of things. By the way, I thank you for being on time in sending your modules or module outputs for the first module. So I'm so happy that everybody put or exerted efforts to send your modules on time. For those of you who haven't sent your modules yet, I'm recording it today. This video is recorded today, and that is March 1. So after this recording I have, after posting this one on YouTube and sending it to you through group chats, I'll be heading to our school to Pangantukan to collect the late modules. Late, huh? That means I have given the first round, I have given the second chance. Katong wala pa kapasa, pwede pa makapasa, but until only today, that is March 1. Napagi time 11 o'clock, not later than 11 o'clock, or maybe extended 11:30. As long as I'm in the school, I will accept the modules. Yet, pagkahumana na, wala na ipaapas, okay? And another reminders, if kanang nabot on time, you will be sending your modules kaning second and third modules. So pag mag-set na tag time, mag-set na tag dates, dili na ko mag hatag pag another chance like this time. Next round dili na ta yung nga ang late mo hatag, ipasa lang nako, sir, asa na ipasa, no, will not allow that one, or because nakaset na ang atong schedule. So as soon as possible, you have to finish your module. And every time ang first years schedules sa first year in returning and collecting your modules, mo na siya ato ang time. Okay, anyway, we will be posting sa ato ang Facebook page sa PBCC. At the same time, I will be posting as well in your group chats, so you will be informed. All right. As I have mentioned earlier, we are going to talk to a very important components or parts in society and culture, and that is okay, social groups. Social groups. So we're going to talk about social groups this time. So in your module, naay duha ka modules for society and culture and family planning. Duha na, no? Group, module number 2 and module number 3. Anong duha man, sir? Because nagapasta the first half, the first sending sa module niadtong January, usara akong hatag, usara akong na reproduce. So with that, taas ka inyong time to answer and to make your modules. This time, kung giapas kay parang dili tam late in our sending and collecting of modules. So naatay module 2 ug module 3. Then after this one, I'll be sending module 4 for next month, or the month of April, sending module 4 at the same time. Module 6, module 5 aron nga paspas ang atong kuan, so talag duha, so mag-apas ta para magkapasta because other subjects na sila karon sa module 5. Ako late ko, kita late ta, so atong apason. So anyway, in this subject, there are no dili kay daghan ang atong outputs, so and bearable ra kay ang inyong pag-answer because everything is in the dili na mo mag-need o mag-search pag other things. All right, we're going to talk about social groups. Okay, so what are social groups? By the way, ako na siyang stop. Okay, akong i-share sa akong screen ang naa sa inyong module, no? Module 1. Module 2 day. Aron nga inyong makita. Okay, here it is. Share screen. All right, there we go. Reminders as well, kaning module, when it comes to sending your outputs lang ihatag balik sa kuha class. Okay, so ayaw na ni ihatag sa kuha kani balik because I have this is from me. Nakoy soft copy ani, nakoy hard copy ani, so ayaw na ibalik sa kuha. Some of the students, they have their outputs, they will insert their outputs here sa kaning module, then ibalik sa kuha. Sir, balik na ko. Ano na balik mo niyo sa kuha? Dili na ko. My instruction here is clear, to put a cover page on your module outputs, meaning you create your own. Ayaw i-insert sa inyong kuan. Now, sir, kung usa ka page ang okay, isa ka page, but you have to create your cover page. Okay, I have printed this one. Naan sa inyong module, makita niyo ni, ma-read niyo na siya. Just understand, it's a plain and simple English. Sayon na kayo siya sabton. Everything is understandable, so please follow instruction. Okay, so especially this part, students are expected to kaninga part. If the first butang ginako na to pass your modules on time. So the problem about being late is, I will reiterate, kung balik-balikon, the problem of being late is dili ko tagapangantukan, and you cannot access or you cannot come to me according to your schedule kung gusto ninyo. Dili man ko tagapangantukan. So unlike before, nga mo anak ko every day, but now dili ko pwede maka-anak every day, so dili mo makabisita sa o makakita sa ko anytime. Okay, so kung wala mo sa schedule, kung dili mo pass on time, so asa man ninyo ipasa ang inyong module? By experience, akong experience, last term. Ginabilin ang module sa office. So, ipasa na ako dito, sir. Pasa na ako, sir. Ang uban ng mga estudyante, mahilig o create o imagination. Nag-imagine sila nga nagpasa na sila din, nag-message din sila. Or nag-imagine sila nga nagpasa na. Panahon sa ting check, pag check nako, wala gi-module output ang kanang certain student. Na ingon din, sir, nagpasa mo ko, sir, pero dili mo tanaw sa mata. Meaning, she or he lies nga nagpasa siya. So, karon I'm saying, I will see to it nga naa sa kuha nakapasa yun mo. So, pasahin ako mo, makita yun ta face to face nga nagpasa yun ka, and then mag-receive yun ako mismo mag-receive sa yung module. That means nga, tinuod yun nga nagpasa ka. Another thing, if dili mo magpasa sa on time, nga nakaset na date o set na schedule para magpasa mo, so wala man ko sa pangantukan, kaya dili mo ko taga pangantukan. So nga, sir, ibilin lang na ko diri, sir, sa office. Ko kamo bahala. Just like the first katulaging aging module. Sir, gibilin, okay ba sa imo, sir? Gibilin ako sa office. Truly, dili okay. Why? Because kung gibilin niyo dito mo, gibilin niyo kang kinsa kang miss kunsa siya, Mr. kinsa na siya. Kung dito niya gibilin, niya tinuod bag dito niya gibilin. Jadi bi ko kahinomdom sa inyo because pila mo kabuk daghan sa bisid lang daan 100 ka pin. Sa BSA there are two sections. So daghan kay mo. In this subject, society and culture with family planning, there are 40 plus of you, almost 60. Oh, see? So dili mo na ako mahinomduman tanong kung kinsa mo. Dude, mingon din mo nag-text mo sa ko nga gibilin niyo sa office. The problem there is mawala. Now, I put it here. It is your duty to see to it that your module will reach me. Mabot sa kuha. Along the way, gibilin niyo sa office, pag adto na ko dito, wala dito. Pag alsa na ko sa kong box, kinama ko yung box. Pero karon dili ako magbutang ng box. Pag kuha na ko, pag adto na ko dito, nakalimot ang iyong gibilinan og ingon sa kuha nga. So na adi gibilin si so and so nga module ni daw kuno module output, nakalimot. So wala na ko to. Na-erase na to. So that module will be gone like a wind, like a mist. And wala na, dili na mahinumduman. Dayon, ingon din mo, pag in sa kuha nga, nung sir, bagsak man ko sir, nga sige kung pasa og module. Yes, pero not on time. Wala giniabot sa kuha. So that's a problem. Diba? And whose fault is that? Is it my fault? No, because we have indicated unsay angay buhaton sa estudyante to pass it on time. But you're not on time. So, mo na lahat, no? Clear and clear as crystal clear. So, ako ganang ibutang every time nga print ko sa atong modules, naagi na siyang reminders. Aron nga dili mo maka ikyas na wala mo kabalo. All right. So, social groups and group interactions. So, we're going to talk about this topic because it's important to understand. In society and culture, we have social groups. Okay. So, bisan unsaon na to paglikay nga dili ko gusto nga magliiya, gusto rin ko nga ako rin gyud, kay ako rin gwapa, ako rin gwapo, ako rin banggiitan, ako rin bantugan, ako ra. But bisan unsaon na to naglikay og mga tao, man is a social being. Bot pasabot, paggawas na to ning kalibutan na, paghilak na to, ang hilakan dili kay nangita og iPhone, nangita og smartphone. Ang hilakan sa bata is gusto siya mangita og human touch. And that is socialization or social groups, being part of social groups. So nangita siya human touch, hilak siya hilak. Pag duol sa mama, nagsugod na ang social groups. That is, what kind of group is that? Family. O tutoy ang bata. O first niya nga ma-recognize are colors. But before colors nga ma-recognize kay seeing man, dugay man makakita ang bata, una niyang ma-develop na senses is ang hearing. Primero niya madunggan paminting is ang boses sa iyang mama o sa iyang family, sa iyang papa, sa iyang mga igsuon. Hello, hello. That is social groups already. You belong to social groups and that group is a family. So, dili na to malikayan. Introduction, it says, human beings came to this world a member of social group. Being in a group is part of our life as an individual. It is necessary to satisfy our needs and wants. Right. Satisfy our needs and wants. When you transfer to another school, to another town, mangita ka og social group. If you are a religious being, mangita kag simbahan. Kung sa imong simbahan dito sa laing lugar, pag abot nimo mangita pa ka nga simbahan kay you want to be part of the church again. Then you started sa imong community. So you started with your neighbor. So dili nimo malikayan, you will be into a group. Though dili siya mabalaan mo na to na karon sa categories mga groupings. Pero moto kong pasabot nga dili na to malikayan. Have you watched kanang, I hope naka-watch mo katong movie, sikat ng movies during 2000 year 2000 plus 1990s about a certain man who kanang na kuan siya, ihang barko na nalunod siya ray survivor kay siya mo pilar po silang sakay kay dato man to siya, na drift siya padulong sa usa ka island. I can't remember the movie. In that island he is alone. So iyang gihimo para nga maka-suffice sa ihang loneliness. Nakakita siya bula. Kita siya bula sa volleyball. Tanaw niya kay nabasahan niya Wilson man. So iyang ginganlan og Wilson man ang bula. Iyang butag nawong, butag alang mata. Moto yung istorya during bonfire. So see, this is part of kanang the need to be part in a group. So groups is not kanang two is considered as a group. Okay, two is considered as a group. Pero there should be two or more. Kung ikaw ro sa di na siya with the group, alone na siya, single na siya, right? So rationally, atong intention is to explore the nature and influences of groups and group interaction on the individual. So unsa influence, unsa ka importante ang interaction? What does groups does or do to us as an individual? Okay. ILO, learning outcomes, intended learning outcomes. At the end of this topic, we are going to understand clearly the nature and importance of the group to the individual. Unsa gyud importante ang group sa katao. Also, we need to understand as well after this topic, understand the influence of groups to our development as an individual. Uy, makatabang din siya sa development. So we have to understand how, in what ways, and to identify the different kinds of groups. You have to identify. So ang atong activity, we read carefully and understand the discussion. Then we have to watch the supplementary video of this lesson sa atong YouTube channel. Entitled this siya sa kaning nga topic is SocScie 12 Module Discussion 2 2022. Okay. Na din diha ang atong discussion. Alright. Dili na ko usa-usahon as I've kuan kay duha ra ba ni ka module ako ang i-discuss, but I will just give you an overview. In a way, understandable raman as I mentioned a while ago. Understandable raman kaayo ang tanan para sa inyo ha. So you can understand and you can dali ra ninyo ma-decipher, dali ra ninyo ma-grasp kung unsay angay natong masabtan. Okay? So we're going to discuss a little bit about the discussion about kaning unsa akong gisulat sa discussion. But we're going to as I mentioned, overview lang kung unsa na siya diha. Okay? Right, let's start with meaning of social groups. So I have provided in there. So na ko yung mga definition niya. If it will not, kung gusto pa gid mo go farther, you can open Google. You can Google it, search it kung unsa pa inyong other meanings sa social groups. Unsa siya ang social groups, to give you a clear understanding of what is it, and how napay give more explanation. So na di social groups, na siya meaning. Sunod, I have indicated as well general characteristic of a group. Unsa siya ang characteristic before it can be considered as group. So in short, in passing, it should be groups cannot be defined simply as 3 or more people. I mentioned earlier 2, but yeah, 3 diri ang naka-indicate, pero consider na to ang 2 as part na siya sa group. To each other, or talking to each other, or meeting together. Instead, a primary characteristic of group is that members of a group are dependent on one another for the group to maintain its existence and achieve its goals. So most likely ang 2 is like partner. Okay, partner na siya. So consider gid nga 3 gid siya kabuok. Pero as indicated, karang they are dependent to each other to maintain and to achieve certain goals. Okay, so partnership could be considered as a social group. Yet to make it work really, it's not about talking na mag-istorya lang or magkita ay every day, every now and then, but they maintain to exist because they wanted to have to achieve certain goal. So napa din sa ubos na ay mga consideration, na ay mga list kung unsay mga characteristic kung unsan siya ma-consider as a group. Na diri ay mutual reciprocity among members. So kanang mga reciprocity is kanang tagaan lang siya, okay lang na siya, okay na siya. Muna reciprocity. Consideration, part na siya. Usa na siya sa mga kuan, sa mga characteristics sa group. Norms and behaviors, na norms and behaviors. Usa na norms, mga tulumanon, mga sulundon, mga ilahag na. Right? Then, group as distinguished from other collections of individuals. Okay, na aggregate, category, na collectively or collectivity. So muna siya tulo nga under aning category, kaning group as distinguished from other collections of individual. Meaning you put in this kanis lang nga mga group, makonsider nimo silang aggregate. Ngano man? Na dihan ay definition. Unsa din ni aggregate? Consider natin siya category. Unsa din category? Consider natin siya collectively. So I will discuss only one. Let's discuss about collectivity. Collectivity is kanang grupo na siya nga nag-usa, collection of people. They're interacting with each other in a short period of time. They share some kind of belief that leads them to collective action. Example in is people who are cheering in a basketball game, or people cheering in a football game, mass demonstration or rally. Karon hapit ng election, so moingon ta diha, nag-cheer mo kung kinsa may inyong gina-cheer nga presidential aspirant or candidate. Example mo ana si Manny Pacquiao sa pangantukan sa Kalilangan, sa pangantukan mo siya umaramag. So everybody from Wao, Kalilangan, pangantukan, padulong sa tanang padulong maramag naghugup dito. Nag-form sila og group because they're cheering. They wanted to see Manny Pacquiao. Kung gusto mo Manny Pacquiao, kaya mag-boxing ta, permente mo na atong fight sa Pilipinas. Okay. Gusto mo ni Manny Pacquiao, kaya gusto niyo sila mahimong president. So dito mo magtapok ta dito sa ground sa Maramag. Magkita dito. It formed into a collectivity or collective group. Kung silang common goal, makita nila si Manny Pacquiao. Gusto sila makadungog ni Manny Pacquiao. Namidala nga mga artista si Manny Pacquiao. Gusto po nila makita ang artista. So that is a collectivity or being collective. Nag-support sila. Pag humana na, muli na, it doesn't mean nga, doesn't be necessary nga nagkailhanay na sila. Siguro mga tumo dito, magkaila mo. Pero small group, another small group, but together, we call that one collectivity. Kamo na ko ni kamo na explore aning aggregate o category. Okay? I-explain na kung usa. Okay. Para dili kay ta madugay. Importance of group. Unsa man ka importante ang social group para sa inyo ha? It is the all social functions. Social basic factor is social functions na atanan, social structure, social institution, system, and organization. Magsugod ang society into a small groups. Firstly, mainly is kaning family. It's a group already. Then two families together, nagsabot sila nga, manghimo sila, sige, kapuyan gay ko nga kuan, manghimo ta, magsabot ta nga, mag-uyon ta nga mga pamilya. Hangtod another family join, and they become a society. So they choose to have a belief, a customs, norms, mga tintuo-tuo. So they form into a society. Kaning mga tribes people, they started as a family. And then nagkadaghan. So amongst the story, especially sa indigenous community, naman may subject ana, nagsugod ang story nga dili ganahan si kaning nga na ang usa ka tawo na si duha ka buk anak. Dili man kasinabot ang ilang anak, duha. So nag-separate si anak number 1 ug si anak number 2, nag-separate siya. Dito siya sa another community, nag-form siya another lugar. Nakita niya usa ka babae, kita sila, nagminyo siya, naghimo siya iyang tribu. Kani pong si anak number 2, naghimo siya iyang tribu. So duha na ka tribu. Kaya dili man sila magkasinabot, nagsugod ang tribal war. See, that is part of groupings. So usa siya ka importante ang groups because it is part of pinasya ka basic informing social functions, structures of social institution, events, organization. Okay, so you have to consider the rest of the writings. As well, I put footnotes. Kani siya class mo tawag na siya og footnotes. Put pasabot, if you have the soft copy which are provided in our group chats, pwede na ninyo siya inanaw. Ayon, i-click, control click to follow link. So pwede rin nyo i-open dito, makabasa ra mo dito. So to give you more information. Formats of groups. So, na format di ay na siya kanang lahi nga formats na siguro PDF, Word, so ang format sa ato sa groups, so social groups. Social groups tend to form based on certain principles of attraction that draw individuals to affiliate with each other, eventually forming a group. So na siya affiliation o na siya principles, as I mentioned earlier, nga ang groupings sama sa akong example nga duha ka mga igsoon, dili sila man kasinabot kay lahi-lahi sila views. So ang isa ka igsoon naghimo siya ang iyahang kaugalingon nga tribo community. That makes ang iyang views, ang iyang panglantaw, ang iyang prinsipyo sa kinabuhi masunod. So lahi kay dili man sila magkasinabot sa iyang isa ka igsoon. That forms him or that makes him to form another group. So naay mga categories diri no. 1, 2, Pila na kabok? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Muna siyang category sa formation of groups or pamaagi. How groups form. First, the proximity principle. The tendency for individuals to develop relationships and form groups with those they are often physically close to. This is often referred to as a familiarity breed liking, or that we prefer things, people that we are familiar with. So, proximity principle is kanang makita nimo every day, kanang mo close contact with physically every day. We're talking outside family ha. Kanang makita nimo siya permanently, ma-meet nimo siya every now and then. That makes you comfortable na mo. Kamo nga group, kamo nga tulo mo kubok, upat ba mo sige mo kita. So that makes you create a group. And ang iyang pamaagi ana iyang way is proximity. Ngalan. Sunod, similarity. Parehas mo interest, parehas mo attitude, parehas mo demographic characteristic, parehas mo tribo, parehas mo Ilonggo, parehas mo Waray, parehas mo Cebuano, parehas mo pamaagi sa pangutok. So, let's put it this way, sa inyong klase, parehas mo silingan mo, parehas mo na among ani nga subject, karon nga semester parehas mo subject, that makes you form a group similarity. Niya, parehas mo magsanabot na, dili sa ta maghimo sa tungkuan, magdula sa tag basketball, o maglaag-laag sa ta. Uy, ato nang ting pasag module ugma, banat ta kuan himo tag module, sige banat ta. Parehas mo og mga intentions. That makes you similarity. Then we have complementarity. So this is the way of forming a group nga dili mo parehas, but you complement each other. So example din leaders will attract those who like being to lead. Ang kaning isa ka leader gusto siya, kaning isa ka individual gusto siya mag-ulo-ulo, mag-lead. Napoy mga uto-uto, kung gusto ra po magsunod-sunod, wala di siya gusto mo lead. So ang panginahanglanon sa usa ka tawo naa siya mga membro nga magsunod-sunod niya. Ang kaning po mga tawo nga pipila ka mga tawo naghinanglan po sila o mag-lead. So nag-form sila og grupo. So usa siya ka pamaagi. Then another complementary ba siya nga pamaagi. Kay nanginanglan ko nimo, ikaw nanginanglan po nako, mo-form ta. Okay? So next is reciprocity. Unsa man siya? Parehas mo o gusto. Example, si A ug si B. Si B gusto siya, ganahan siya kang A. Niya si B po, ganahan po siya kang A. Conversely, if A dislikes B, B will probably not like A. Muna siya, ganahan ko nimo, muna nga, maghimo ta grupo kay ganahan ko nimo. Ako po, ganahan ko nimo. Uy, karang, gwapa man ka. Ako po, kay gwapahon. Magrupo ta. Ganahan ra man ka kanako kay gwapahon ko. O ganahan ra man ko nimo. So, that usa siya ka pamaagi, no? Pero most likely kani siya nga principle is dili kay siya short term ni siya kaning reciprocity, short term ni siya, dili siya magdugay ni nga pamaagi. But it started that way, especially sa mga estudyante. Started that way. Siya kay una siya nanagad sa ako pag sugod sa klase. Pagtagad po nako sa iya kay okay ra po siya yung response, ganahan ra po ko niya. So it started that way. So it becomes dili siya necessary class hanga. Usa lang ka principle ang pamaagi when you form your groups. So maybe it started with reciprocity, then it developed into complementary. Ako mga panginahanglanon kay ma-provide niya, ako po makatabang po siya, dili kay ko gwapa tuod ko, dili man kay ko bright. Siya kay gwapahon lang pero medyo bright man po siya. So kita na bangay mi. Pag mag-uban mi, matakda na siya nga pagka gwapa. pero kay di man kay kumaayo, tinabang it become complementary. Then pagtan-aw niyo, uy, gwapa ko ni siya kay gwapahon, pero ka similar mi og mga ganahan mi og Korean novela kung pag istorya niyo. So it will develop. There are maybe 2 or 3 more principle when in forming a group. Lastly, the elaboration principle. This is the tendency to complexify. Something complexify. Spelling man. Okay, that's correct. Complexifies or complexity over time by adding new members to their relationship. So siguro nagsugod silang duha. Uy, ganahan po ko nga. Ganahan po ka na niya. Ikaw ganahan ka na niya. Sa ato siya idugang. So kay tungod kay parehas naman mo, naka-form naman mo o kanang mga attitude towards yourself, nagkailhanay naman mo, parehas naman mo kan likes, parehas naman ko, ka na po siya kay mo, maura ba na to like. So you form a group together and you invited new members to join you. All right. Take note class ha, kung gusto mo mabasa more, natay footnotes dire, napunta sa ato ang for further readings. Then, we have classification of groups. Makita niyo diha, naka-list na siya. O niya, i-categorize ang or classify ang primary group o secondary group. I-mention po diha. Makita ninyo, akong gidiscuss diha, gibutan akong discussion. So, you have to understand. Then, main characteristic of secondary groups. Okay, naman kung gimension mo itong primary o secondary, unsa ning primary, unsa ning secondary. Then, gidiscuss po kung unsa ang characteristics sa secondary groups. Dayon na group boundaries. Dili malikayan when you form into a groups, naanday group boundaries. That is why there are reason nga na friction between groups, between groupings. Ay mga away-away. Magsugod sa ginagmay hangtod ng mga away, and then it resulted to big one. So naay boundaries, tawag na boundaries nga in-group o out-group boundaries. So consider na ninyo diha, mabasa ninyo nya ato na siyang inyong tagaan og an idea, matagaan mo idea what are those in groups and out groups or what are the boundaries. Then we have type of boundaries. So maning mga boundaries. You understand me? I know you understand what is boundaries, but taman ra siya, kutob ra siya diha, yet in a social groups, in groupings. So naay mga types diha. We have formal group, informal group. Then we have consequences of group boundaries. Appreciate consequences. Unsa ka importante nga naay boundaries? Okay. Kaning part ako na siyang i-expound a little bit. So it says there, ang boundaries will lead to common understanding and cohesiveness within society and give people a sense of identity. Okay. Let's put this way. Ethnicity. When we talk about ethnicity, we talk about language or dialects. Sometimes ethnicity in the Philippines, there we have 169 ethnic groups that include Cebuano, Tagalog, Hiligaynon, Ilonggo, Ilocano, Muslims. Okay, ethnic groups. Under Muslims, we have lahat na po siyang ethnicity. Meaning those one gitawag na siya boundaries, na siya group boundaries. When you have group boundaries, kana siya ni-appeal na siya lagi sa ilahang nga grupo nga puros man na sila mga Ilonggo, pero kana siya kay Cebuano man na. Pero naay boundaries. Dili ninyo mo likayan nga naay boundaries. But yet the positive thing about boundaries is it gives you identity. Then we have inclusion within society and participation in its traditions and customs. So It doesn't mean nga lahi mo og ethnic groups pero dili mo magkasinabot. Pero naa gyud siya boundaries. That is the positive thing about boundaries. The negative part of boundaries is tungod kay kuan gamiton ni siya nga capital sa uban. That means ako kay kuan man ko kanang hiligaynon man ko nya kana sila kay mga Tagalog mo na sila. That is the problem in our country, facing in our country. The Tagalogs tend to look down the Cebuanos or mga Bisaya o katong taga Mindanao. Nagalusod, nag-look down. Pero dili unta na siya mao. Why? Because though we have group boundaries, but we are the same in a bigger group, and that is the group within Philippines. Okay, so but dili ato malikaya ang tensions because lahi man taog norms, lahi man taog belief. Shall we say example, ang inistoryahan sa mga Bisaya, ang mga Bisaya murag pala builo kayo, isog kayo paminahon. Kung paminahon po nimo mga Ilonggo ay hinay ra kayo na sila mag-istorya ang Ilonggo. Suko na kayo. Ay, bantay ka karon. Malatos ti ka karon. Isog na kayo na si mama. Suko na kayo na si mama. Okay? Kung Bisaya, murag perminti suko. See? That makes identity. But doesn't mean nga dili ta magkasinabot. Okay? So along the way, ato lang siyang gitunan nga na groups, pero to understand nga, nani di ay, dili mo pasabot nga amo na siya maglaylay gyud ko kay ako ra gyud dili ko dili to siya apilon. Why we learn about social groups? Because we have to understand nga naa din na siya ga exist din na siya, meaning nag-exist ni siya naaman tay utok, naaman tay kasing-kasing nga ga-under as long as buhi pa ta. Then we have, with this information, we can grasp we have social boundaries. I don't want to go, so we have to understand him because Bisaya na siya, isugod kaya sa inistoryan. I have to understand her or him because lungga man na siya, inanag sa inistoryan. Naay bana o naay usa ka lalaki na minyo si Buana na kanila kiha kay Ilonggo. So dili bud pasabot nga dili sila magkasinabot. Sinabot na sila kay sa atong balikon na amay pamaagi or principles in forming a group. Okay? So, muna siya, no? Exercises in a separate A4 bond paper. We have to explain the major characteristics and functions of primary and secondary groups. As I've said earlier, easy ra ni ato ang modules because most of the outputs are found in readings. Unlike sa uban ng mga modules, like for example, sa ako ang readings in Philippine history, you have to search. Kaya dili man ako ma-post tanan. Then, number 2, discuss the difference between in-group and out-group. Then, formal and informal boundaries. Give some examples. So, i-discuss ang in-group o out-group, kung saan siya, ang formal o informal, dayon muhatag o example. Ana siya diyan, no? Ganito, informal, kung saan siya. Tagaan mo yung example. That is letter A. Letter B, do a research and list down 5 concepts of groups. Manghimutag research. Na ba na siya, sir? Dili ko magsaba. Basta ko mag-study mo, magbasa mo, makabantay mo, naa ba, di ay, o wala. So, 5 concepts of groups. Then, in your own experience, ikaw mismo, lista ang mga rason nganong ang group importante. Then, you have to discuss and tell kung unsa ang group nakatabang sa imo as a person. Minimum 250 words. So, well abot ang lista, ha? Maglista ka o groups. Second importante, group are important because 1, blah, 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 2, blah, 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 3, blah, 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 4. Buta na to, 4 na imo na nakabot. lista. Apil na siya sa 250 words? Nope. Di na siya apil. Dito ta magsugod sa pag-discuss nimo kun how do groups help you as a person. Sugod na ka. Yung ka nga, groups help me as an individual. Dito na ka magsugod sa ihap sa 250. Because it helps me for my character. Dito rin ka, no? So, exercise. A for bond paper class ha. Ang A, kung dili masigo, ang A, so sa bond paper, dugangi ka another bond paper. Ang A o B, dili siya masigo sa bond paper, another na po ng bond paper. Pwede ba sir nga back to back? Yes. Yet, remember, kung back to back, unya duot ka inyong sinulatan, that's a problem. So, magpili na mabasahan ang likod. So, situate nga, back to back, unya mabasahan ang likod. Okay? Unya, another reminders, you have to put each page, each bond paper, your name. Okay, kaya basi matangtang siya sa cover page, na pagyapon, ma-collect pagyapon, makita pagyapon ako, oy, kani siyang output ni Kinsa. Okay? So, balik ko pag yun ako, another nga reminders, magbutang yun mo og cover page. Alright? So, muna siya. So, then assessment, you have to submit this in the next batch of module releasing. Ano sa na, sir? Wait until butang na ko diya sa itong group chat. Okay. So, done na to sa itong first module, module number 2. Okay. Let's now proceed to module number 3. Okay, aron nga madali ta, quick siya nga kuan. Quick siya nga discussion sa module number 3. Module number 3 is easier than module number 2. Easier pagid siya. Okay, muna siya itong module number 3, week 5 and 6. As I've mentioned, I have indicated kung unsa ang course guidelines, okay? So now, we talk about socialization. Earlier, we talked about groups. Now, we talk about socialization. Atong introduction diya, in summary, kung i-summarize, kita human beings like animals, mo socialize kita. Because, mangita kita o kauban to do certain things. So, like example na ko diha, usa ka migratory group of birds. Nung sa mga migratory kanibang mga birds nga in a certain time of the year, in a certain month, mo fly gini sila, mangita ni sila og pagkaon og usa ka kuan kay siguro tugnawan na kay sila anang lugar. So mo migrate ni sila. Mo biyahe ni sila layo, like parehas aning storks. Mo biyahe ni sila layo, mangitag pagkaon dito na sila pag mo stay na sila diha. Then sunod na po balhin na po sila. That is socialization. Socialization helps us a lot to understand things. Through this, we understand our contribution to the community. So, socialization, makahatag mo na siya to nga, uy, pagmata na to in this world, when we socialize, we talk, we knowingly, ang mga belief sa atong family, ang ilahang mga prinsipyo, ma-transcend sa ato, ma-open ang atong hunahuna kani pagkamatngon nato og buot, magpili ta kani akong ganahan ko sa mga prinsipyo sa akong mama kunta sa prinsipyo ni papa. So sa certain things, I will say example money, monetary, mas ganahan ko og prinsipyo ni mama sa when it comes to monetary kay si mama thrifty kayo karon pugong kay sa kwarta si papa kuan man kanang wala pangayoan nimo ana. So, sundon ako si mama when it comes to money. Ngayon po sundon ako si papa when it comes to being happy. Sundon ako. Naatay kuan, natay choices. So, it gives us understanding. And then, we create our own, then how we can contribute to the society. Rationally, we can't learn our individual role instantly. It talks about our role as well sa society. So, ang lalaki, dili nimo matun-an nga mahimong amahan instantly. Paggawas na to sa kalibutan, ay lalaki, amahan yun ni, mining amahan. So, we go to social agents na mag-help sa ato nga, uy, inani di ay. Ang maayong nga lalaki, ang mahigugmaon nga lalaki, muni muna. Saan na to na matunan? Pinagi sa social agents. Ato siyang matunan later. Atong learning outcomes should be, after this lesson, we are expected to define socialization, examine its nature and its importance. Then, we can identify the various agents of socialization and understand the importance of each agent. So, agents of socialization, unsa man siya, kinsa man ni, unsa niya mga pamaagi. Activity, the same. We need to follow this discussion in this channel, YouTube channel, and then open. Okay, since giusa naman ako ni siya sa SocScie 12 module discussion number 3, ako na siyang i-indicate. Ang title ani would be SocScie 12 discussion 2 and 3 2022. So the same format as we have in the second module, we define meaning of socialization. Then we wrote importance of socialization. Then naka-indicate. Then we have the goals of socialization. Naka-indicate po. Ano? Yung bantayan. First, sundon ninyo asa ng second ani. Na nadiha ang third. Asa na siya taman. Then, social status and role. Unsa imong social status, unsa imong role, unsa man yung social status, ibang kana siya, grupo na sila sa mga professionals, grupo na sila sa mga kanang individuals who are in the farming group, grupo na sila sa mga labor group. Social status, ano siya social status, unsa imong role, okay? Na diha taas siya nga basahon pero dali ra masabtan. Okay, dinita mag-discuss sa agents of socialization. Unsa may agents of socialization? First, family. Diha kita magsugod sa atong socialization. Diha magsugod ang inculturization. Diha magsugod magpasabot kung unsay culture. Okay. Sa uban nga family, okay ra sa ilaha ang tag-asog tingog, dagkog tingog. Singka. Si mama mo singka ka papa, tubag po si papa, singka po. That is part of their culture as a family. So ang bata nagdako sa inana nga environment. Pagdako po na sa imong sa may imuhang expected. Na po na siya anak nga dagko nga tingog, so singka. Yet dili na siya basihan. Kay uban nga mga bata na asas sa usa ka environment sa family environment nga dili siya pleasant, pero nigawas siya nga niingon siya ang kaugalingon nga dili ko gusto inani ako ang pang family, gusto ko lain. So see, that is part nga maka-create kag culture, maka-create kag socialization. Ang papa o mga mama, siblings and grandparents plus members of extended family, they can teach their child unsa iyang social needs, unsa iyang wants. Sige, makita na to diya. Makita po na to kung unsaon paggamit ang certain nga butang. Kasi nagtudlo nimo nga mag-drive, akong papa, akong kuya, akong ate, akong uncle. Most likely inana siya, no? Then family is very important when it comes to socialization. Remember this class. Puhon, mahimo mo gid mong now you're a member of a family. Kung unsay socialization sa family, unsay inbreeding sa family, that would be part in mao po na siya ang makita sa society. When you started as a family, buutan ka maabot sa society, nagdala po kag socialization, nagdala kag norms, nagdala kag belief, nga buutan ka. So you will be a good person in the society. That is why towards the end of this semester, we will be talking more on family. Before we will talk about making families, naamagita sa family planning. So human ani nga module, I will introduce to you individual. Unsa na to pagsabot as an individual? Kinsa ko, unsa ko. So part sa society. Kaya nag-talk naman ta og culture, nag-talk naman ta og society. Sunod ani culture. Within the culture naa dayon diha human sa culture naa dayon diha ang individual. Human sa individual mo talk din tag family. Towards the end, nag-talk na to ang matakol na to ang everything. Okay? So family is very important part or component sa society, ang family. Mo ni siya magkapatudlo. So dili ka makaabot sa eskwelahan, pag-abot nimo dito especially karon nga module, first gid nato nga breeding ground is family. So ang bata na maglisod kani og basa, diha na siya sa nagsugod sa family. Mama o papa wala gi panahon na magtudlo og basa. So family. Okay? So kasama na din ang maestro kay ang bata minus. So part na siya sa agent. Sunod, peer groups. Usa sa mga butang na makapatabang sa inyo in shaping you as an individual is peer groups. That is why broken families tend to have members like kids. Madto nila sa peer groups. So usa ka importante po nga butang. Birds of the same feather are the same birds or the same or flock together. So moadton po ka sa peer groups o sa imong mga silingan. Then institutional agents, diha ang schools, workplace, napo diha ang mass media. Nowadays usa ka kuan importante ang mga bata karon kay di man kay mong gawas. So dili na kay sila makakuha og mga social cultures or social interactions or socialization sa gawas kay ang mga bata karon nasa social media. Hala sige lang dukduk sa ilang cellphone. So mass media or social media is one way of enculturization. So karon see back in the days during the millennial days, kami millennial mi class, kamo lahi na pud mo nga generation. During our time before, excited or mahimong part nga pakita na gani siya og kanang a little skin. Uy, grabe na gina siya. Grabe na siya kakuan. Gikan mo na siya Amerika. Now, makita nimo sa Twitter, sa Instagram, napagin na siyang unsa nang kanang mag-atubang sa na siyang app ng atubang magsayo-sayo. Naana dito ang wala gi-imagine sa culture namo nga naa na karon. It becomes a social virus na karon. Dili lang virus na COVID-19. Tungod sa pandemic na lockdown ang mga estudyante, ang mga bata. Tuwa na nagsige ng atubang sa I remember na TikTok. Tuwa na sa TikTok. First okay pa to TikTok. Picture lang, gwapa. Sunod sayo-sayaw na. Wala na, di gamay ramang kay viewers mo sayo-sayo. Magbubuan na to og kuan gamay. Bubuan na to og sinina gamay. So nakatube na. Gamay ra po kay kuan. Pakita na to gamay atong tiyan. Uy, gamay kay po kuan. Nana din to yung mga. See, that becomes a norm. Sa man ang norm, accepted na siya sa society. So wala na mo badlong. Uy, ganahan mo yung tanaw. Wala, tanahan na kayong tanaw. Ang Maria Clara nagsayo-sayaw sa eskwelahan, gipost sa TikTok, gipost sa social media, nag-gain siya og 200 views. Si Sir Makanim nag-discuss about society and culture and family planning, educational, gipost sa YouTube, 30 views, 40 views. Okay? Uy, si Inday, nabulingit kaniadto, naghilamos, nag-make up, gipapuok ang short, gihubo ang tube, nagbra, nagsayaw-sayaw sa TikTok. 500 views, 800 views. Uy, nindot ni. Gituslok ni Inday ang TikTok, katong application nga mo blurred ang naong, mo blurred ang tanan. Gihubo ni Inday ang silina, gihubo tanan. 1 million views. Wow, sikat si Inday. See, that becomes a norm. That becomes a problem. That becomes a social challenge nowadays. Why? This good naman po tag morality class. This is a big discussion when it comes to if we have face to face, dako kani siya nga discussion kani siya social media or media, mass media na mag-inculture mga kabatanunan. So makita ta daghan na rin kay tagkuan, makita ta siya in my opinion, me as a father, I cut my kids and my niece to like social ban, especially katong mga ako silang gi-censor na ako sila. One na na-censor sa akong list as a father, dili mo ko yung conservative. Me myself, I like alternative music. Pero when it comes to kanang lyrics, music, we're talking about music. When it comes to lyrics, music, I'm very strict on that. Kung magsugod na gani ka og sa imong music, nasugod na gani na lyrics nga mga F words, mga words nga dili siya pleasant paminawon, why say that one? Why put that into music? But becomes a craze, becomes a sensation. So important siya, wow, gwapo na kay siya. Tungod kay ang nagkanta, sexy, beautiful. So I would like to mention Blackpink. Ako na siyang gisensor sa akong kids. Why? They're good. They're nice singers. Pero the way they perform, the way they use the lyrics, the way they perform, it's a very kanang sensational, nice siya para sa mga kabatanunan. But for me, it's inviting. It's promoting lust. It's selling yourself. Why? Kanang kiay nga pina. The way, look at Blackpink. Look at the way they look at the way they sing. It's not acceptable para sa kong culture. So I'm telling my kids, I'm telling my niece, they're all girls. So I'm telling them, no, not that one. You have to choose your own when the time comes, when you're grown up. But now you're still under my roof, you're still under my care. No, I will say no. See, that is mass media. So usahay dili na to makuanan. Dili na to kids pranking their parents pranking their kids, friends pranking each other, and becomes a culture funny siya, katawanan. So it becomes acceptable nowadays. I'm not saying na I'm not pwede po ito mag-prank, pero it becomes na himuon mong katawanan ang uban para for the sake na nakaipos. It's become unlikely, okay, nowadays. Pero usa pinaka-influential agent nowadays is social media or mass media. Then religion. Usa sa mga agent is of socialization is religion. So there are religion who are teaching this and that, and their religious leaders are leading people to do something nice. There are also religions or beliefs to teach their members to do something irrelevant or para sa ila accepted, pero para sa inyo dili. I remember one of social groups or religious groups before dinis ato sa part sa Mindanao, to si Ruben Ecleo. He started a cult, tawag to sila kulto, but they started as a religion, teaching good things kunuhay, and then they develop into a cult, and then to the point nga later nabalaan na katulang leader ang ilang members ng mga babae iyang gihimo niyang gihimo niyang personal consumption, and then later on na siya army religion. Okay, in the name of religion, everybody is making fool of people in the name of religion. Then we have primary socialization. Diha unsa na siya, we you can understand on that one. And then, yeah, lastly is nakabutang diha. Social groups often provide the first experience of socialization. So katong earlier nga atong gi-mention kaganyan nga groupings, maka-provide siya of socialization. Then later, peer groups communicate expectation and reinforce norms. People first learn to use tangible objects, then material culture, and then settings. So diha makuan, imong culture class magdepende siya sa imuhang asa ka naka experience of socialization. So, but usahay, most of the time we have the choice. So, for me as an example, daghan ko og nabihayan nga lugar, daghan kong nakita nga culture, daghan kong na-meet nga daghang mga tao. So, I have the opportunity to choose the things that I need to be part of as my culture. Say for example, imong language, imong body language. So asa man ta mga kwan. Sige gani kag tan-aw ka ng mga Korean novela. Usahay imong pamaagi, ang imong feeling mura na kag Korean. So usa na siya sa mga pamaagi, but you have a choice. Okay? We choose to just watch and not socialize. You choose to go with your friends. Nga inanaan siya. Before I was not very dili na ko accepted ang idea nga tell me your friends and I will tell you who you are. I was trying to show, especially sa kong papa nga dili siya pwede nimo siya na imo ko i-brand according sa kong friends, pero naamo ko choice. Niuban ko silahan ang certain time for not necessary nga inana na ko para sa ilahan. Because ang papa is dili siya strict siya when it comes to drinking, cigarette smoking, going at night. Strict siya na. Siya nga dili na para siya trabaho sa usa ka estudyante, dili na siya trabaho sa usa ka kwan. Pero mao mo sila akong classmate. So dili pud siya yung usahay ma-brand ta. Pero as I've mentioned, we have a choice. We can create ourselves. We can make a choice kung saan atong gustong mahitabo para sa atong kaugalingon, and we choose according sa atong socialization. So the more na natay socialization, the more nga natay kuan, the more nga natay option when it comes to social agents. There are more options for us to have our own identity as an individual. But make the right choice when it comes to choosing class. You can choose to be like this, but we should remind ourselves as well to make the right choice when it comes to identity. When we come to making right choice, we need to have socially accepted as an individual. Socially accepted ta. Yung nga, sa society kay tungod kay ang drug addict dili accepted. Ngano din nagpili man ko ako man ni. Ba? Pero mo na siya kita deviance pud ka ana, deviance pud pasabot dili pud ka maayo nga nahimo kang sa lawayon sa society. So when it comes to identity, you have to choose identity that you will be accepted and morally accepted. Okay? Nga makatabang sa society, dili pabugat sa society. Makatabang sa family, dili pabugat sa family. Makatabang sa ato ang community, dili pabugat sa community. And as a whole, you will be a person that will contribute to the society, not become wala gyud contribution. So that is our goal, social goal. Okay, let's come to the most awaited part. I-discuss na ni sir ang exercise. Ang uban is skip ang discussion. That's why I before tend to task kay akong usa ka discussion o usa ka module task kayo kay nakoy PowerPoint kay ako ging i-discuss thoroughly pero ang estudyante mo adto gyud siya sa part nga unsa ang pag-answer ang module. Okay. So again, separate A4 bond paper. You have to identify and list the status of the members of your family. Social status sa imong family. Si kuya mao ni iyang status, si ate mao ni iyang status. So mo ni iyang imong i-make ang list. Also, write down the roles in your community. Unsa iyang role? Si kuya firefighter, si ate police. So ilang role sa community is to make peace, blah blah blah. Inyong i-identify and inyong ang category. Okay? Then based in your experience, list and explain 5 advantages and 5 disadvantages of socialization. Unsay advantage kung naay socialization? Unsay disadvantage? 5. Now ba na dito, sir? You have to check. You have to read. B. What social agent that helps you a lot to be a person you are right now? Unsa nga social agent? Na-mention mo kung social agent, family, peer group, school. Unsa nga social agent nga nagtabang sa imuha nga mahimo kinsa o unsa ka karon as a person. Follow up question. Imong isulat dito ha. Pero dili mo isulat dito nga family. Umana tubag na pangutanan. No. Then example family because butang nimo because blah 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 kay mo ni. Then what social agent? Follow up question. Number 1 ra gyapon. What social agent that can help you improve more to be the person what you want to be? Unsa nga social agent nga makatabang sa imo haron mo improve ka? For example, gi-mention ni more first the social agent that helps me a lot to be a person who I am now is family, because my family helped me blah, blah, explain. Okay, explain. Then after that paragraph, saan siya ka paragraph, sunod nga paragraph, the social agent that will help me, I think that will help me improve more is social media, because muni siya makita na ko siya muni muna blah 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 explain. Is number 1. Number 2, what are the benefits of social media and what are the negative impacts of it? Unsay benepisyo sa social media ug unsay negative? Explain na siya gyapon. Dili na siya usa ka sentence, do ka sentence, nagyapon na siya points, pero limited digid po siya ang points. So katong thoroughly na understand na ko nga unsa na siya. So pamamoy mo class. Sa simple nga mga discussion, discuss it good according to your heart. Discuss good. Pamamoy mo. Okay, there are hard discussion nga lisod kanyo i-discuss, dili ninyo mo discuss maayo. So at least nakapamawi na mo. So mo na siya, no? Negative or positive impacts of social media. Benefits and negative. The same thing in the assessment. We have to do this activity and the exercise, and then you should submit these outputs in the next batch of releasing of modules, and your output should be written in A4 bond paper. At the same time, you have to put a cover page. Okay, don't forget to write your name as well. So na references na ko diha. You can follow the links and read more about our topic. So muna siya, no? I hope na nasabtan, I hope clear, and I hope everybody will have the excitement to do the module. Di mo excited so daghana kay sulaton? Yes, that is part, but yet you have to find ways na ma-encourage mo to do your module. All right, so I hope everybody is filled and understand my discussion, and I think taas na kayo. This is the time, this is the part where I say goodbye and see you in our next video discussion or supplementary video. God bless all. God bless to all of us. Thank you and bye.